Okay, just before we go to the system, our topic is the preventive maintenance. Let's try to have it in a sketch. What's currently, I'll just repeat for the video and for you again. So first I have to have the category setup. In the category setup, I am defining the activities needed and the item needed for each equipment type, along with its manufacturer and model. So for example, this dozer with manufacturer CAT or Hino in particular model, I will define for each category what are the required activities and the required items to be done in each category, in A and B and C and D. Each category will have an interval. The interval, for example, will mean after this kilometer I have to make A again. So after 150 kilometers I have to make A. Another in 500 A again, in 750 A again, and so on. And there is a grace period, which means the period that you can wait for the equipment to be in yellow. After that, the equipment should be done because it will be danger and risky to the equipment. So here I have defined my category setup for each equipment type. This is one-time setup also for dozer, for crane, for generator, for everything. It is ready. Then I have something called preventive maintenance schedule setup, which is basically on equipment level. For each equipment I am defining the last done meter reading for A, for B, for C. So the system will keep a track and will start tracking from that particular meter reading. So for this equipment, if the last meter reading was 6,400, after that daily activity will start updating the meter reading. Based on that, once it's reached to 6,400 plus 250, which is the interval for A, it will be due for the preventive maintenance, where I will see that in something called preventive maintenance process, where I will find my real maintenance schedule. And this is the screen for the preventive maintenance guy. He will have the screen, he will have all the equipments with all categories. He will see which one is red, means it's due and past the grace period for maintenance. Which one is yellow, which one is white, means it is not due. Based on that, he will select what he needs. For example, the red, he will start with the red, then the yellow, based on the availability of material, of fund, of his availability in the workshop, etc., etc. He will release that preventive maintenance and convert it to job order. After that, he will work on the job order. Now, working on the job order, it is the same cycle that you already know. The only thing here, you will start with creating MR, right? So the MR that you will create here, it will contain by default all the items which is defined based in the category setup. You don't have to define it one by one. It is already defined here in the category setup. Accordingly, once the job order will be created, we will have the items inside that particular MR. So let's go to the system. I thought it's a long question. Can we edit the MR? Yes, we can edit. It's recorded. Alright, let's go to the preventive maintenance module, repair and maintenance. Preventive maintenance. So, preventive maintenance category setup. Here, I have the setup for each category. As I told you, it's already defined. So, let's take an example. We will go, for example, for stationary power generating units 2. Let's open that. Category, equipment. Equipment type, stationary power generator. The system is bringing for you the group for it, either hours or kilometers. What is the manufacturer? Caterpillar, and this model. We can have the sub model, but in the time being, just the team say that the manufacturer and the model is enough for the time being. So this is the category setup which we talked about a little bit ago. This is A. Reading or the interval is 250, and this is the grace period. So in A, what are the activities and what are the items that is needed to be done? So those are the activities for A. In A, you have to do air filter cleaning, engine fuel filter change, etc., etc. 6 activities. And those are the items that you have to use. So in the MR, when you create the MR, automatically you will find those 5 items in the MR. Same thing for B. Same thing for C and D. If you can notice, there is no D, because some equipment types it's only A and B and C. There's no need for D. Right? So it's up to you. I want to show you the value we get from the team, which we will import it to the system for that particular BM category. So this is the category setup in Excel, which we will import to the system, just for you to have a look on it. So here, bulldozer Komatsu, this model, bulldozer Komatsu, this model, bulldozer Komatsu, the third model, bulldozer Caterpillar, this model. Here, the category A. The reading, the grace period, the activities needed, and item codes with quantity. So you need 3 kg of lubricant or greasing. You need 50 liter of this oil. So this is the setup for it. This is the first part. This part is one-time setup, and you can add later if you want. For each equipment type, if you define, for example, a new equipment type, you can do the setup for it. Now, equipment preventive maintenance schedule setup. Right now, the category setup was an equipment type level. This setup is an equipment code level. For each equipment, what was the last done? So let me take an example. Here, there is no data. Let me try to add. Meter reading type of selected equipment is none. Do you remember the validation for the broken meter gauge or the meter reading type? It's working here. So if the equipment is none, you cannot define for it a category setup. Let's try to take another example. Caterpillar tractor loading shovel with backhoe equipment. Update BM schedule. The system will list for you the available matrix of manufacturer and model, and you can define for each row, which is again a matrix of a conjunction with manufacturer and model, what was the last done kilometer for A, for B, for C. So let's try to define the data we have. 6,400, 6,400, 900, 900. Sorry? 7,400. for the 400. You can select the date. You can select the date, but our preventive maintenance process is work on the meter reading, not on the date. This is only for reference as the time being. So I will try not to fill the date to see the system. Fill all details. I have to fill the date. So let's try to put that this was done on 30 November. This was done in 10 December. This was done on 17 December. And this was done on 31 December. I have defined for this particular equipment its schedule. Okay. All right, let's go to the next screen, which is equipment preventive maintenance processing. Let me minimize this. As you can see, the system is giving you the legend here, the red and the yellow, and the status is here. So the white, all of those are white, which means not to due. I am the maintenance guy. I am looking at my equipment. So for your question, what's his name? Shuaib. For your question, you said I need to see only my equipment. As a controlling part, now the system is showing you the whole equipment. Now the question, how to know the equipment belongs to you. We have a group, equipment code, equipment type, manufacturer, model, submodel, capacity. But again, this the main important point here, to know who will do this. If it's a central part in the head office, your question is not valid then, because only you will see it in your job order level, because it's a central place where someone will release those maintenance for job order. I guess this is the situation, but I am not sure. You have to ask Muhammad al-Nimr. Okay, if I will sort on status to see the other values, now the red are here. Those are due for preventive maintenance, and it's in red, means it's past the grace period. But if you put, for example, 300, you will find also the yellow, which is due for preventive maintenance, and it's already due in yellow, which means in the grace period. I want to see my equipment. Sorry. My equipment still not due, because I have defined the last done, which is, you can see here, this is the last done, which we already defined, and the system is telling you when it will be due. So right now, if I will go in daily activity and update its meter reading there, it will become accordingly due for preventive maintenance, either in grace or after past the grace period. Yes.
So for any modification, I have to write a mail.
Yes.
See, in this one, just my suggestion. Okay, you can listen to. Below you are showing red and yellow, right?
Yes.
So if it becomes a filter, if you click yellow, it will show on all yellows. So it will be very easy for us to know which are in the grace period, right? If you can create a filter like that, if you click yellows.
No problem. No, it's not working.
Very easy for us. Suddenly we will get all the yellows and all.
Write it, no problem. But currently you can use the status here to filter, then you can see. but I did not see a filter on the color. You are right. Let me try it.
And if there is an option to minimize the screen, we need only equipment code and done and not done. All these things are not necessary. Because we have to be very
No, this is your opinion. Maybe their opinion, they need it.
very minimize because they don't use that much. They use it every day for 6 or 7 hours. It will cost us our eyesight.
Anyway, write it. No problem. طيب.
Can't be minimized.
Okay. Now let's try to take an example. This equipment, what I will do, as you can see, sorry. I'm recording, right? As you can see, this equipment 0003, it's due for preventive maintenance for A and C. I have the option to release one, for example only A, or I have option to release both A and B. What I can do also, I can view stock availability in order, select only one record, okay. View stock availability in order that to be able to decide I want to release it or not. The system will tell me the required items. For example, I will say in Riyadh main warehouse, what are the availability of the required items for that particular A category. This is retrieving from AX, the on-hand quantity in the SCM. Again, this is a pilot server, that's why the availability is 0. But in this way, also what you can do, you can change the warehouse, because maybe this is the availability in this warehouse. If I change warehouse, for example, to see in Riyadh OTB, retrieve. Yes. No, just to simulate the idea that you can view the stock. See, we have a stock in OTB for oil and greases. Alright? So based on this data, I have decided, just one point, it's important to you, Shuaib. You asked to filter here. Currently, you can download it with color coding in Excel sheet, where there you can filter. Let's try to see it. Download with color coding. It will download it for you in Excel sheet. Let's open that Excel sheet. So in here, if you put filter, you can come to here to filter by color. You want the red only, right? Or you want the yellow only. So those are in the grace period. Same thing, you can filter red only. This will be helpful for you.
Only in Excel, huh?
In Excel, yes. Current KM setup, this one which I talked to you. The scenario here, the equipment come to me and I want to release it for preventive maintenance, and I find that the meter reading is wrong. So here you can update the meter reading. Let's take, I want first to take this as a copy. I will make my example based on it. I'll come back to list again. supposedly for this current KM setup, here you can update the kilometer setup. This is the current reading, and here you can update the current meter reading setting. Okay, so let's continue our cycle. So for example, for this particular equipment, which is 03, I want to release it for job order. I have the material, I want to release it. It's already in the after grace period in the red category. So I will press on release. Okay, the system is giving me some details. The equipment code, its type forklift, the schedule details, which is category A and C. The due date was in November. The current reading, due reading, release date, released by comments, released for job order. Okay, are you sure you want to release? Okay. So this is the first step. I have released it. Then I will come to next screen, which called released equipment preventive maintenance. I found it here. This is the released, where here you can create job order one by one or for everything. So for example, let's take the example. I have one equipment and A and B and C is released for maintenance. You can make one job order for A only, or you can make job order for everything. But usually the job order will be for everything. So I will select everything and I will create preventive maintenance job order. Okay. Now the system.
Can you come a little bit back?
No. Let me finish then.
For this one I did not understand after that. After the release, where it is going?
No, but this is your problem. You know why? No, this is not your problem, and I need everybody to, because
I was
in
doing
the
the same thing what you are doing.
so the system is validating here. So the message telling there is open complaint job order for this equipment. Are you sure you want to create preventive maintenance? So the system is telling you there is another job order, breakdown job order for it. So I will tell the system yes. Okay, create preventive maintenance job order. After the first one, the system is listing the activities, which will be the task that I have to do in the job order, and the system is listing the required items which will be created automatically in my MR. So the system is asking me, the workshop you have permission is Riyadh main workshop. Do you want to make it for job order or service task? If I will select service truck, if I will select service truck, then it will go for the service truck assigned for that workshop. I will keep it for workshop. Job order in charge. I select somebody, anybody. Any comments here you can specify. Then okay. Okay, the system creates for me that particular job order. So somebody released this. It seems you. صح? طيب. So if we come back to our sketch here, where is the sketch? We have released it. Right now we have to go to work on the job order. We have one menu group called preventive maintenance job order. Preventive maintenance job order. This is the last job order, and this is my equipment code. Remember, 0003. Forklift, Komatsu, etc. This is the details, and here I will work on the job order. Now, keep your attention to one thing. Here, your work will be in the list, not inside the record itself. What I am trying to say here, if you stay on the list here, you have all the buttons where you can work on that particular selected job order. But if you will go inside the record like that, it's only for review.
You cannot edit.
You cannot work on the job order. So you see here there are no any buttons. Here only some details that you can monitor. So how to work on that particular job order? You have to select that particular job order, then you will find the buttons that you will work on. What we have, we have hold, transfer, under warranty, create MR, repair task, petty cache, and to QC. The first logic thing is that you want to create your MR. Am I right? So you will say create MR. The MR details will come to me by default based on the details I have put in my category setup. So those are the required items to do the job. Now, pending items, you have a pending items, it can be ticked or unticked. What's that meaning? Suppose that in December, I worked on one in category A and I created material requisition. But there was no material. So that's why my job order is open, my MR is open, pending. Right now, in February, let's say, I will work again on A again, or in B, which contains some repeated item that was in A. So the system is showing to you that this is already a pending item from the previous MR. It will be ticked for you here. Yes?
If something is purchased from outside, then
You don't bother. Your job is to create the MR, then their job is either to issue an SCM, to issue it from their warehouses or to purchase it, but then eventually they will issue for you.
like for example, we purchase from outside.
Petty cache. Petty cache. That is petty cache.
It will show it here like it was bought from outside or something like that. Someone will put in.
How our manager will can see in the system which purchase it.
That is petty cache. Even if it's an item, that should be recorded in petty cache.
For example, now you
No,
said
as you said pending.
pending.
Maybe I buy it from the market. No, it will show, system will show pending because there is how we can update this.
Yes. Exactly.
The point you use petty cache for anything rather than the items, the main items.
No, oil filter it is pending here. I change only oil, but I buy the oil filter from the market.
I understand.
These service when I'm going to do, it will show pending item oil filter.
Yes.
But I already purchased it and fix it. So still it will show pending.
It will show pending until you go to the MR and cancel that line. Once you cancel it, it will not be pending.
Just like before, we sell to their part to get to, so we send here to their to get to.
So we have to cancel them in the amount.
Yes, in the MR, we will see it later. Okay, so I will create the MR. I am sure. So my reference number for my MR is the job order number, which is 218, or the equipment code, which I have already. Now, if I will go to material request menu item, material request, this is the last one, which is EMR. Our MR in equipment, it will be EMR, which is equipment MR dash 0020 11/2019, and the status from preventive maintenance, it will be approved, but in the repair job order, it will go to the approval cycle. So this EMR number 20, you will not find it here in the approval, neither in the QC approval. Now MR again, it is with SCM, so there will be a tracking like yesterday. Anything with SCM tracking. Now we have MR tracking and we have MR tracking admin. Admin, it's only for the head office because they will see all the MRs despite who's the creator. But for you, for example, as Su'aib, if he will go for his MR, he will find only the MR he created, not Salah MRs, not Aziz MRs, like that. So now, right now I have MR number 20. So what is the next step? The replicate. Replicate with AX. Okay, replicated successfully. So again here the way is it is the link between me and the SCM team. So what I have to do after replication, I will open that particular MR and I will see the details. The details here, my items are not issued. Now your question is the cancel. Here you can cancel. Cancel will work based on the status. If everything is not issued, you can cancel. But if partially issued or ready to pick some statuses, you cannot cancel it. Unless it is not issued, it is in the first stages, you can issue it. Otherwise, you cannot.
Edit also from here. Huh?
Edit what?
If you want to edit part.
No, from there.
From that side.
From. I did not see it.
Yes, that's
Write it in your comments, please. Edit the MR, the preventive maintenance MR. I remember it was uneditable list, but I'm not sure. Maybe this is the requirement. They don't want it to edit.
Sometimes we don't have a part here.
You don't have what?
Part available. It will be a different part.
Different partner.
Alternate part numbers we have.
Alternate part number is showing in the MR itself also. If the case is MR, I will show you again in another MR.
There is a
Also, sometime by counted in the at both.
Warehouse folder email you provide
Sorry?
us.
Quantity card?
Warehouse folder you will provide us effect date number. When I created the material request, so he will see the which item we have alternate number. So he can provide.
warehouse अगर यहाँ
Yes.
पे नहीं है, अगर याम्बो में है कोई चीज, तो मैं पूरा warehouse बदल दिया तो फिर ये वाली चीज निकाल सकता हूँ.
So the normal way here is to replicate and wait the statuses until the status will be ready to pick and you will receive the one-time password to work. Now I will work on the job order as I receive the material. This is the next step. It will be on preventive maintenance job order. This is my job order. So I will start to create the task and assign it for particular technicians. Let's see how's that. Are you sure you want? Yes, I am sure. Okay. Assign to whom? I'll select anybody. I'll go for this guy. Assign date, activity. What is my activity? If you remember, those activities was defined in my master file, which I show you for preventive maintenance and for repair job orders. So, for example, oiling, anything, machine shop, others, manual, preventive maintenance, remarks, oiling, save. Now each task you can assign for it more than one technician, right? So I suppose that this is the main guy that this task assigned for it, and I can add another technician. Who's the employee? My favorite guy, Saad al-Dosari. Save. So I assigned Bintu as the main guy, and Saad will work with him. I assigned the task. Good. So next step, Saad and Bintu will work on that task to do the oiling, for example. I asked them to do something. You will find the menu here, but currently it is here. job order repair task tracking. We will make a copy of it in this menu later, but it is the same menu. So job order reference number, this is my job order reference number. Oh, sorry, I missed one point. The system will automatically create combined BM task for Saad al-Dosari for the job order in charge. Let's open that with the details, so I don't have to create the repair task manual. Sorry, what I did is not correct. You don't have to create it again because the system already created automatically based on those tasks. So those are the activities required to be done.
Before when you put this workshop and or service for workshop, it will be defined from there. It will take from there.
Yes. Service task details. I can add another here if I want. Fine. Come back here in the view. You can just view it. Come back to the header. Now I will delete that one because right now it is not correct. Hours entered for this task, so it cannot be deleted. This is an issue because I haven't entered any hours yet. So I will work on it as it's a normal task that I need to continue. So what is the next step on any task? Any task that you will work, you have to do two things. The first one, hour consumption. The second one is close the tracking before you will be able to close the job order. So again, our example, we assigned Saad to work on that task. So how much Saad take to do the task? Let's go for hour consumption. Who's the mechanic? Saad. Total hours, he consumed 8 hours to do the whole work. Work is done. Alright. What is next step? You should be able to close the task. Close the task. Now if you notice, I entered only hours. I did not enter money-wise. The system we have a place we will define a rate for each role. For example, we will have 10 roles. Mechanic, supervisor, oiler, foreman, whatever. Each role will have an hourly cost, and the system will multiply that hourly cost with this particular hours, 8 hours in our example, and will put the cost for the labor for that particular job order. Remarks, you put any remarks. Alas, done. Now, this one which I created wrongly, let me close it. Assalamu wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Our consumption, mechanic, Saad. One. Shukran, thank you. Confirm. Then I will delete, I will close the tracking. So right now I finished the two tasks. Let's go back to our job order, preventive maintenance job order. (2018). Again, what we have done, we created the MR, we received the material, we worked on the repair task. Now your example was on petty cash, right? So you bought something extra. So in petty cash, expense date, expense details, bought oil from outside, expense amount 250. Any remarks? Confirm. Suppose that you bought another item. You can make another one. Expense details, bought, filter from outside, or do service, whatever you are doing. Expense account amount 50 riyal. Confirm. Okay. Now transfer job order. Sometimes you have to transfer this job order from one workshop to another workshop. We will use transfer job order. We will use it in the repair job, not in the preventive maintenance job. So you will see it there. Hold, you can hold the job order. Under warranty, you can mark this job order under warranty, but basically all the time, I guess, my guess, the preventive maintenance is happening inside. So under warranty, you will see it also, same cycle inside the repair job order. So the last thing after you finish everything is move your job to QC before you're able to close it. If you can see, there is no close button here. So first you have to move it to QC. So I will say خلاص, I finished the job. Move to QC. Are you sure you want to move to the quality check? Okay. Now, what I wanted to show you here, again we have the status. One second. You can view your job order status from here. There is a status and overall status. It's under processing, particularly it's moved to QC. So right now, the QC has to work on it. So under the same menu group, preventive maintenance job order, we have preventive maintenance order quality check. So this is our job order, number 18. I will click on it, then I will approve it. Means خلاص, I checked, everything is fine, no oil leakage, no anything. Okay, okay. So if I come back to the job order right now, I will select it. Right now, as you can see, it's only closed job order. As you can see, tracking again, there is part of the items are delivered and the whole status of the MR is partially delivered. So we are waiting the SCM team to finish the whole MR. So after doing another replication, so we see that all of these items in the MR delivered and just one item is ready to pick and the OTP will reach to me. So I will take it, and after that we are waiting to close totally the MR, then we will close the job order. So right now the final thing, we replicate for the final time. In the list right now my MR is not there. So this is a general rule in the system. If you will not find your record in the current period, current record tab, it will be in the historical record. So this is my MR number 20 and the status is completed. If you open it, you will find all your items are delivered. Right now we're supposed to be able to close the job order. So let's go to close the cycle and close that job order. Number 20. 218. So right now, Bismillah, close the job order. Now the close screen is available for me. Job order number, equipment code, action by, remarks, the job order is closed. Now suppose that after you do the preventive maintenance, you discover there is a problem in that particular complaint, in that particular equipment, sorry. You can check this. It means there is any complaint and you add that problem details and you create a new complaint for it. Is that clear? So I finished my oil change, for example. While I am doing that, I discovered something in the carter, for example. So I have to fix it. I will open this as a complaint from here. So in that way, I will close the job order. I have done my job order. I closed my job order.